The only reason we're still arguing about law or grace is because we fail to understand the context through which the law is applied. You see, the law is designed to protect the citizens of a land. And so when we think about the question of how God applies the law is applied through the context of protection, for lack of a better word. And you could say order too, but the reality is that the order of creation is predicated on what it's intended to support. And since we as beings are the primary recipients of creation, at least the material creation, then the law is designed to support and protect those which he created. Now, the issue comes when someone steps outside of the law that was designed to protect them and others, and they become an enemy of the citizens who are protected by that law. That's why the punishment has to be so severe. The wages of sin has to be death. It has to be separation from the other citizens, because anyone who is allowed to transgress that order creates chaos and destruction for all of the other people who are living under that law. But God didn't just want citizens, He wanted children, He wanted sons. And so, in the context of being citizens, we have to be judged severely through the lens of law. But when you apply the law through the lens of love, which is what He has for His children, then what you end up with is mercy. That's why He said He desires mercy, not sacrifice. So when we become His sons, we no longer think of the law through the lens of citizenship and protection, but rather we think of the law through the lens of love and maturity. Because for the servant, the law is intended to teach them how to behave in order to stay in the kingdom. But for the son, the law is intended to teach them how to grow up, how to become like their father, so that they are worthy of taking possession of their inheritance and being part of the ruling family in creation. But the problem is that many of us as believers are still operating under the servant mentality, which is why there's so many people running around telling other believers, well, how dare you say we don't have to follow the law anymore? Jesus said, if you love me, you'll obey my commandments. And just all of these other scriptures trying to put the oppressive nature of the law back on the backs of the children of God, not understanding that God desires mercy, not sacrifice, and the purpose of the law is intended to teach us how to grow up, not intended to be the burden that holds our behaviors in place. God doesn't need the law to correct our behaviors. All He has to do is bring difficult circumstances on us and show to us what happens whenever we transgress His rulings. But that's the same with any good parent. That's what I do with my children. When I need to demonstrate to them that going outside of the things that I've told them to do is foolish and is going to harm them, I demonstrate those things through producing difficult circumstances for them. I don't need the law for that. I don't need to put rules in the house that say, if you do this wrong, this consequence is going to happen. All I have to say is, I'm dad. And if you don't do the things I tell you to do, this is going to end badly for you. Not because I don't love you, because I have to teach you how to grow up, how to understand what is good and what is not. When Jesus said, if you love me, you'll follow my commandments, that was a relational statement, not a legal statement. I mean, just think about that statement for a minute. If it was about the law, He would have said, if you fear me, you will follow my commandments. But that's not what He said. He said, if you love me, you will follow my commandments. Now, how do we come to love Him? Well, we have to know Him. And how do we come to know Him? By walking with Him. And if we walk with Him and we come to know Him, and as a result of walking with Him and coming to know Him, we come to love Him, is it not reasonable to think that we would do the things that He asks? This is why it says perfect love casts out fear, because the law has to do with punishment. God doesn't punish His children. He disciplines them. And for those that want to say the law is our instructor, the law is the most fundamental instructor. The law is the beginning. Our instructor is the Holy Spirit, the one who is given to us to teach us how to apply the law. If you've ever wondered why there's so much confusion around the law, it's because of that. It's because men have read the law with natural eyes and come up with all types of applications for it, failing to understand how to appropriately adjudicate a spiritual law because they are not interpreting it with spiritual eyes. Jesus didn't come to enslave us, he came to free us. There's a reason that he said that man was not made for the Sabbath, but rather the Sabbath was made for man. So is there law? Yes. Is there grace? Yes. But to understand how the two synthesize together, you must view them both through the context of love and sonship. And that is a context that you can only develop by walking with the Spirit and learning from Jesus, who says, "Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble of heart."